been an up and down year. I know for those of you in the press, there's never been a week where it was boring for you.
Well, that's an understatement. 2023 was a historic year in the House of Representatives. It included 19 votes to elect 2 speakers, an expulsion, and the opening of an impeachment inquiry. House Republicans won a majority in the 2022 midterms and used it to pass bills including H.R. 1 to increase domestic energy production, H.R. 2 to strengthen border security, and what they call a parental bill of rights pertaining to children's education. But those bills didn't have any input from Democrats, so none of them passed the Senate or were signed into law by President Biden. Only 20 laws and 2 resolutions were signed by the president this year, compared to 81 when Republicans took control of the House during the Obama administration. In fact, a review of the congressional record revealed this was the single least productive Congress in at least 50 years.
When you think about all the bills that we passed over to the Senate to address the problems that struggling families are facing, the Senate at some point is going to have to start taking up those bills and start taking some action.
Democrats are openly mocking Republicans about the year that was.
They've just crushed it with their accomplishments of expelling a member and removing a speaker.
An absolute show. You saw Republicans bring chaos, Democrats brought competence on everything that mattered. The majority of the votes came from Democrats.
Swalwell is talking about the debt ceiling vote, extending the $33.8 trillion national debt to allow the government to borrow more money to pay its bills. He's also referring to a pair of votes on continuing resolutions to fund the government and avoid a shutdown. It's true that more Democrats voted for those measures than Republicans, but Democrats also provided a majority of the votes to oust Speaker Kevin McCarthy, which brought the chamber to a halt for 3 weeks. 8 Republicans voted with 208 Democrats, and McCarthy let them hear it.
They brought chaos to Congress, and now they tried to stymie our ability to have continuity of Congress, which I think is a real problem, what the Democrats have done.
Republicans also say while it wasn't always pretty, their way of conducting business has its benefits.
A very open and deliberative process that has been member driven. And I think that, the American people will say, oh my gosh, look at all the tumult. No, what you're seeing is democracy in action for real. What you're seeing is getting away from leadership or the Speaker's office or the Senate Majority Leader's office making all the decisions, and then your member of Congress getting a cattle call to go press a button.
Donald is talking about a criticism of Democrats. They vote in unison, but some members don't agree with what they're voting for. They vote the way they're told by party leaders like Nancy Pelosi. Multiple sources have confirmed that's true. But whether it be a debate about spending or trying to get a new speaker elected, Republicans have not been afraid to voice their frustration.
Everybody says, what's your biggest surprise when you got to Congress? That I wasn't surprised.
Well, it just wasn't anything meaningful. We major in the minor. Congress majors in the minor. We do, we ought to be up here really this month, even through Christmas, on the spending. We're not doing that. Very frustrating.
Republicans began 2023 with a 222 to 212 seat majority. It will be 220 to 213 to start the new year. That may impact their ability to pass their policy priorities in 2024, but it doesn't change what Congress must approve, like government funding and a reauthorization of the Federal Aviation Administration. Straight from D.C., I'm Ray Bogan.